There are more earthquakes here than any other place in North America, about 11,000 a year, although it's much safer than it sounds, and it's a perfect starting off point for my photographic adventures in Southern California. Hi, I'm Bill Boggs. Welcome to Freeze Frame San Diego. Are you ready, Helen?
I'm ready.
Low gear? We're out of here.
It's a 6-hour flight from New York to San Diego. This will be our launching point as we look for photo ops and adventure. We start by driving 2 hours northeast to the Anza Borrego Desert. In a Hummer vehicle, we'll challenge the terrain using sun and shadow to enhance a 3D look. Next, we'll head to the coast's rugged cliffs. We'll explore a little-known cave and experiment with silhouette photography. Then inland to California's first mission. We'll trick our cameras into capturing the dimly lit beauty of this 18th century landmark. I never realized there's a desert just outside of San Diego. It was Helen K. Garber's idea to come. She's a professional photographer and a new friend. She'll show me how to capture the spirit of the San Diego region on film. The Hummer is my idea. I've always wanted to drive 80,000 bucks of agile armor. I found this tour company called North American Off-Road Adventures. They put novices like me behind the wheel for about $200. Paul Johnson's our desert guide and one of my driving instructors.
Wait a second. Okay.
All right, we're in second. There's the Grand Canyon over there, Bill.
What?
There's the Grand Canyon over there.
That's it.
That was apparently, at one time, the center of the Grand Canyon.
Seriously?
Yes.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And that material was carried by the river and laid down in a big delta.
Little geological liposuction.
Yeah, really.
I guess when the Grand Canyon was carved out, all that dirt had to go somewhere, but I didn't expect to find it outside of San Diego or to be told to drive off a cliff to get to it.
Gonna be kidding! So it just looks bad. Yep. Everybody have their seatbelt on?
Yeah.
Helen, have your seatbelt on?
Yeah.
Okay, Bill, as you get to the crest, just go ahead and go over.
My foot's on the brake.
You just go ahead, take your foot off the brake, go over the crest, and just let it go down on the engine. You're in low gear. Go ahead. That looks very good. Doing fine. Just a tiny bit of brake, just to slow it down. There you go.
Feels fine, man. When do I get to race it? That's the thing.
Nice bar.
The Hummer drives like a car, only they're wider.
It's like a Cadillac driver in Brooklyn. Nice park right into the bushes.
If you get burned, you can use the yucca to help yourself.
Well, here we have one of the cactus in the park that gives a lot of people trouble. Be careful, in fact, you don't want to step on it right
What's the trouble?
there. This is jumping cholla or teddy bear cholla. Be careful. Some people think they jump. They don't. But the people jump. What often happens is people will come up to it and brush against it and get it on, and then they jump back, and so they think it jumped on them.
Look at the shot of this. It's this dangerous plant.
Yes, exactly.
Well, it's nice to have all these together instead of just a single one.
Got it.
Well, you just took a really nice shot, but I'm going to give you a photo tip. Something may look nice one way, but until you walk completely around it, you may not know the best shot. Look at the difference.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's a big difference.
It makes it like has a halo or a glowing effect.
Yeah, the sun is backlighting.
Standing by the cactus, I can see why the desert is a desert. The mountain peaks keep the rain clouds on the San Diego side. Time-lapse photography shows how the clouds are blown back by the mountain breezes. The Anza Borrego Desert gets less than 7 inches of rain a year. But Paul says that Native Americans flourished out here until just 80 years ago.
The Kumeyaw Indians?
Kumeyaw.
The Kumeyaw Indians, what did they do for water supply in the desert?
The Indians would make these clay vessels called ollas, O-L-L-A, that were waterproof, that they could store water in.
Uh-huh.
And they would often put them along trails if there was a long span between
Like
springs.
cisterns,
Yes.
just a natural collecting device.
Right. Well, this is creosote bush, one of the most common and abundant perennial shrubs of the desert. It's called that because it smells. In fact, if you do this, blow on it and then smell, it smells
Oh,
like the
wow.
oil creosote.
That's wonderful.
And that's where it's named. It doesn't produce creosote, it just happens to smell
Now, how did
like
the
it.
Native Americans use this?
It was used as an antiseptic. It has really high antibacterial qualities.
Paul says there are about 30 earthquakes a day here, more than any other spot in America. The good news is they're virtually all too tiny to feel. And lots of mini-quakes make the area safe from a big quake. The mini-quakes also make the mountains here grow an astounding 1 inch a year.
Yeah, and I actually don't feel too secure with these rocks. Look like, they could come sliding down at any moment. How'd they get there?
That's a really interesting question, how they got there. They're actually being formed in place. We call this the boulder factory. There's a great big hunk of solid granite right here. And so all those loose boulders are actually part of the original bedrock. They've just eroded in place into rounded forms.
Are rock slides prevalent?
No, rock slides are pretty unusual here.
Really?
It sits still, it deteriorates, but it usually does it in place.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's a fabulous photo opportunity over here.
What is that?
Well, you see these big boulders and the way the sun is hitting it? Here's a perfect opportunity for a great boulder photo. The sun is shining on the right here, and it's creating a shadow on the left, and that way it'll make it three-dimensional on film. I'm going to shoot this right here. It's a fabulous, God.
These rocks are
Oh,
nice
wow.
and hard,
This is-
so they would allow them to do some grinding here and dig these holes.
This is a kitchen activity.
Exactly. This is the kitchen.
Mortero.
Yep. They would have harvested mesquite beans. They would have harvested the seeds from a lot of the plants around here, which are fairly coarse and woody. Pound them up, put them into a mush, cook them a little bit perhaps, or a soup. This has been used for probably a couple of hundred years for it to be that deep.
This is early evidence of being a food processor.
Absolutely.
This is a food processor without the cord, the plug, the noise.
Cuisinart.
The original Cuisinart.
Which way are we going, left?
It's hard to believe that this was actually a major route west during the gold rush of 1849, and that was long after the Spanish had established communities all along the coast. After a day in the desert, I appreciate being back along the water in San Diego proper. The coastline is dramatic. We need to get it on film. Helen's picked out a photogenic spot in La Jolla, but someone recommended I check out the cliffs of Torrey Pines on the way. It's a good tip. It's stunning. The breeze here attracts expert hang gliders. Paragliders come too. I never imagined such effortless takeoffs. The pilots make it sound wonderful.
It's just like being like a bird. You're just flying and just enjoying the sights. Looking down, many times we see the dolphin, the whales, or you come across a seagull. You're flying along and a seagull sees you and all of a sudden it's like they can't believe that there's some big bird as big as they.
For fun, I asked a pilot to take a picture with my camera. It's about 10 minutes from Torrey Pines to the heart of La Jolla. Sidewalks and railings make it easy to see the rock formations and wave action.
Here's a favorite secret spot of mine.
What's that?
See, La Jolla, the Indian legend means caves.
Yes.
And although this looks like an ordinary shell shop,
I hope it's not an ordinary shell shop.
it's not. There are
Good.
caves underneath it.
Oh, shell shop cave combination.
Yeah.
How unusual.
Oh, here are the steps.
145 steps. Please do not attempt this trip if physically unable. Be careful, Helen. This cave has been opened by this tunnel over 90 years. It's perfectly safe. All persons entering this cave do so at their own risk. Think they have insurance?
I hope so.
This actually looks like one of those Disney things, except it's real. Wow. Low ceiling, that's not a problem for you, Helen?
No, I'm okay. I want you, a great profile yourself, to meet another great profile. Sonny Bill, this is Sonny Jim.
What are you talking about?
Well, you see, the edge of the cave creates a profile. Can you see that? Look around the jagged edge. You got a hairline.
Oh, yeah, it's like the nose.
A nose. And the local folk have named it Sonny Jim.
Right.
Yeah.
That's great.
Isn't that fabulous? So you know, this would be a great place to take a portrait of you, but in a very different way than most people do. Most people would assume that flash would be the thing, but another even more romantic way would be the silhouette.
Silhouette.
And, yeah, the silhouette in the 18th century, they started doing these cutouts of profiles of people, and now we're going to do it photographically. So I'm going to look at you, all I see is black, and if you turn and put your nose in the same way
As Sonny Jim?
as Sonny Jim,
Okay.
it's going to be kind of a neat shot. But the first thing you have to be careful with, I can't center my meter on you because you're just a big black blob.
Blob. I'm a blob. Okay.
So I'm gonna focus just beyond you and the water rushing in, and that way the meter will light for outside the cave. Ready?
Bobby Bill meets Sonny Jim.
Okay. Now you gotta be really still.
All right.
It's wonderful because there are these birds flying and you're filling up the space really nicely.
Good.
Yeah. Now then.
I'll take 3 wallet size.
Okay, sounds great. But then, you know, a lot of cameras have a built-in flash, and just for the heck of it.
Just a 2-minute walk from the Shell Shop is La Jolla Cove, a public beach. Helen wants to get a sunset shot, but first we sight a seal siesta.
These guys are just fabulous. I wish the sun was actually hitting them, but it's not.
Would you like me to drag one up further on the beach into the light?
Absolutely. Why don't you do that?
Wish I had my seal gloves with me. I mean, the gloves for the seals. I don't have seal gloves.
Okay, this is a really difficult shot, but you have, hopefully...
What makes it difficult?
Well, because the seals are in very dark light now, but we have this gorgeous background here, and we want to capture it all. And the only way we could do it at this point is, luckily, there's a little built-in flash in this camera, and we're going to do our best to try it that way.
Helen, it's another freeze-frame sunset.
Pretty.
By the way, we'll see you in the morning.
Yeah, there he goes. And it's going to take a little while for the light to change to where I want it exactly.
Helen is right. It's worth staying after sunset when the colors become their richest. As the colors fade, Helen and I take a 5-minute drive up to Mount Soledad. It overlooks La Jolla, Mission Bay, and the traffic we'd otherwise be stuck in. Every day at noon and 6, California's first mission reminds the valley it's here. San Diego's oldest gathering place is quite near one of San Diego's newer gathering points, the Qualcomm Stadium. It's about a 15-minute drive from the coast.
So this is the Mission Basilica San Diego de Alcalá.
Wow, look at this place. This is classic mission architecture.
What actually makes it classic, Helen?
Well, let's see, these red tile roofs, first of all. We could start from the top. And then these archways. And then the white stucco walls. The facade is made out of stucco. It's very typical.
So this is about as Spanish as it gets in California.
Oh,
huh?
absolutely.
And what I've learned here, Helen, is this is interesting because this is actually California's first mission. In the 1700s, the Spanish wanted to lay claim to California territory, so they did it largely under the guise of religious settlements like this, but there's a very strong political overtone to laying claim to land right here.
Really?
Yep.
I had no idea.
Well, you know, when you read the brochure, this is what you find out.
That's great.
You know, I've heard the term mission bells all my life, but I've never actually looked close up at mission bells before.
Yeah. Oh, now, you know the Taco Bell logo?
That's where it comes from?
That's where it comes from.
How would you actually set out to take a good photograph of the bell?
Well, first you got to look at the bell and see what's really neat about it.
See what it sounds like.
Oh, wow, that's wonderful.
I don't want to set out to bring out the fire company here, but...
Yeah, I know, I have this big urge to ring it. But, look at this archway here. This would make a great frame on a photo. The whole archway would be fabulous. Can you see the whole archway?
I can see the archway if I get down like this.
Yeah,
that's a good set.
Yeah, because that frames the picture. It has not only just the rectangle from the camera, but that nice semicircle on top puts a nice frame on this wonderful scene that we're looking for.
Got it. You see, what you just showed me was the value of changing your height, of getting down.
Absolutely.
A lot of times, you know, I just walk up and, okay, there's the bell, and you take it. No, that's excellent. Thank you.
About 800 families are parishioners at Mission San Diego de Alcalá. They're proud of the rich history here and welcome visitors to partake or just tour. The mission is maintained as authentically as possible. Even replacement floor bricks are made by hand. The darkest tiles have been around since the beginning. The statue of the Blessed Mother also dates back to 1769 when Father Serra founded this mission.
Oh my, what a wonderful space. Doesn't it give you a good feeling?
Oh, the light's fantastic in here.
I'm going to take one photograph here so I can remember the way it affected me just when I walked in.
Well, that's not going to do it.
Why?
Well, because the flash is too small to fill up this grand room.
So
it only shoots 15 feet. And the only way you could fix it is by turning the flash off. And then the camera will then compensate for the fact that the flash is off and give a long exposure.
Long, so it would mean a big, long exposure.
Yeah, maybe 2 seconds. It'll open the shutter for 2 seconds in here. Now, the second thing is that you can't hand hold it for 2 seconds, and we don't have a tripod, so we have to find a flat surface to put the camera on.
Top of my head?
No, don't think so. But you know what? There's a flat surface on the top of that pew.
Tri-pew.
A tri-pew,
Try the
yes.
pew. Go
Let's
ahead.
do it. Here
So
comes
really
it down.
improvising a tripod. Good
Exactly. So we got to do two things,
What?
though, in the camera. We got to actually turn the flash off, and we got to put the self-timer on. And the self-timer will let me put it on and give me 10 seconds to press the shutter and steady it up.
The old Cabrillo Lighthouse overlooks the entrance to San Diego Bay. It's an active harbor with lots of big boat traffic and a busy embarcadero. Just north of San Diego Bay is Mission Bay. It's smaller and better suited for water sports. Helen and I rented an 18-foot catamaran from the Sports Center, and we hired Cliff Graves to show us the ropes.
This is called your sheet, and what this does, this is adjust the angle of your sail relative to the wind.
Now we just caught a little wind right there.
Yep.
So you pull it in to keep it tighter.
Right, exactly.
If you hadn't made the pull, what would happen?
If you let your sail out,
Yeah.
the foil is no longer angled to the wind, you just kind of die and, you know, nothing happens, so.
Cliff warned us we could get wet on this catamaran, but I didn't expect it to come from his friend's speedboat.
Okay, we're gonna get wet, hold on.
Even though it's wet out here, I wish I brought the other camera.
How much can I really do with, with just a point and shoot like this? What do you
Well,
think?
yeah, I know. I would love to have every piece of equipment, but there's not even a bathroom on this place. The equipment is not the only factor in great photography. That's only one factor. The most important thing is what you see and how you compose your picture.
Well, okay.
Okay, so I won a national prize with a camera like this, a little point and shoot. That's it.
Good for you.
Yeah, but it's what you look at. It's all these cameras have the same rectangle viewfinder.
So it's what you put in that rectangular
What
space.
you put in the rectangle, how you compose it. And here, we look up, we have this fabulous yellow sail against this great blue sky.
So just the yellow and blue?
Yellow and blue are complementary colors. Together is the most exciting color photography. The primary colors, we got 2 out of 3 of them.
Whoa, what's the sky? It's as blue as it gets.
Isn't it amazing? Yeah. I mean, we're in San Diego. Here's another great tip. Look at the way the sun is hitting my face. It's really bright and harsh.
Right.
And then look at the lovely light on Cliff's face.
Cliff, such lovely light on your face. This photo opportunity on Cliff here.
Absolutely. The sail is acting like what we call a scrim to dilute the light. It's not coming so harsh on his face, it's just softening the light, and it's beautiful.
This has been a wonderful trip. Thanks to Helen K. Garber for photographic advice on capturing the adventurous side of beautiful San Diego. I'm Bill Boggs. We'll see you next time on Freeze Frame.